Hey folks, it's Mark with Fire Mountain Outdoors. Thanks for joining me today. In front of me I have three weapons. The first one is a folding stock AK-47. This is an AK-47 pistol, the Zastava M92 with the SB-47 stabilizing brace. This is actually a pistol. And this, we all would know, is an AR-15. You probably know what this and this are chambered in as far as a caliber, but some of you commenters are confused as to what this might be chambered in, so we're going to talk about this particular weapon next. Stay tuned. Hey folks, if you looked at this weapon from afar, you would know that it's an AR-15 and you would assume that it's chambered in 5.56, and that would be an incorrect assumption because I built this particular rifle to be a 7.62 x 39 weapon. The things that are different are the barrel. It's got a specific bolt and it uses specific magazines. These may or may not be a drawback for you. You may wonder, why in the world would you do that? Why wouldn't you just stick with the tried and true AK-47 platform? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first reason is because I could. It was an interesting project and it's fun. I'm actually a fan of the 7.62 x 39 round. I prefer a 30 caliber over a 22, a bigger hole, bigger bullet, more muzzle energy. Here's a little bit of data. At 100 yards, the 7.62 x 39 is carrying more energy than the 5.56 did at the muzzle. That's a big reason. The other reason is cost, ammo cost. If you love to plink and shoot like I do, it gets expensive, folks. The 5.56 runs about 35 cents a round. The 7.62 x 39 you can get for about 21 cents a round. So it's about a third cheaper. So we got more energy, we got more power, and it's cheaper to shoot. Those are good reasons. There's some other reasons. I'm an optics guy, and the AR-15 is really, especially with a flat top receiver, is really receptive to a lot of different optics. Even if you're an irons guy, the sight radius on the AK has always been really short and crude. In this particular one, the Zastava, they moved the rear sight rearward, but we have a really short sight radius. It's even shorter on the regular AK-47, and it's never instilled any kind of confidence or, frankly, really good results for me because I'm not as good with irons as I am with optics. So those are some of the reasons that we built this. I'm going to talk about some of the drawbacks. Now, if we were really intent on stone cold reliability, we would never veer from the AK-47 platform. The beauty of these is you pull the trigger, it goes bang no matter what, every time. And it's going to send a bullet, regardless of the sight picture, roughly downrange in some place that you wanted to place it. I kind of place a little bit more premium on accuracy, and I'd never liked the sights on these, so that's compelled me to go with this. And I have had some issues, folks. The magazines, these ones that are made by C Products, these are the only ones that I've actually got to work and work reliably with this weapon. But I still had some problems with the imported ammo. The Wolf and the Tula and these have very hard primers, much harder than the hammer springs and the firing pins and everything are used to dealing with. So I've had an issue with click, dry strike, finding a dented primer but not a firing. So I've done a couple of things to alleviate that. I'm going to show you one of them right here. Now, one of the things that I've done to try and attempt to improve the reliability of this is I have increased the firing pin protrusion out of the bolt. And I did that merely by shortening this shoulder and this was a pretty simple procedure that's kind of barnyard tactical machine work. I just chucked this up in my lathe, and then I took a file and I filed this shoulder back a few thousandths, and then tested it until I had increased the protrusion of my firing pin a few thousandths, and that attempt helped, but it did not eliminate everything. So the second thing that I did was I installed a new Wolf's primer spring, a hammer spring rather, and I went with a heavyweight hammer spring from Wolf. These came in a 3-pack. I got these from Brownells. Brownells was running a special where they had free shipping, and that's a great time to buy something like this. It's lightweight and you'd pay more for shipping. I bought a 3-pack just so I had some heavy ones on hand. I did notice that installing this spring did make the trigger pull a little bit heavier, and I'm kind of curious how that's going to work with the slide fire, and if it's going to affect the functionality of that. But I'm hoping that this restores 100% reliability using these hard primers in a range situation or a life and death situation or a hunting situation, because we all know that a firearm that doesn't work 100% of the time is just about worthless for either hunting or self-defense. So those are the mods that I've done. All right, I'm gonna go down range. Hey look, we got 3 shots, no failures. Trigger pull's a little bit heavier, but actual use instead of dry firing actually feels pretty good. So I think it's gonna work well. All right, let's send 3 more. All right, last 3 and we should be dead on. Okay, so we've got this thing zeroed in, and now I'm gonna whack this gong out at 100 yards. I got an 8-inch gong that was from Steel Horse Customs. So there we have it. It's the 7.62 by 39 AR-15. So I fired about 60 rounds of it today after the Wolf extra power spring install, and I haven't had one failure to fire. You know, I'd like to take a little note right now that says one of the other reasons that I prefer the AR platform over the AK platform is the controls. The safety is much easier and more natural for me to engage and disengage, and also the bolt release and the last round hold open to change the mags make this a platform that's a lot more intuitive and natural for me to use. But all that said, we did 60 rounds of just slow fire, sighting in this new sight. We're going to do a couple of mag dumps with the slide fire because it's fun and burns a lot of money really quick, and we can. America! Here we go. Ah, I had a failure. Let's try it again. Well, it's getting there. This will be a good test. Give her heck, son.
that's that.
So I picked up all of the failure to fires that Eli had, and I can see a similar problem. Once again, we have very light primer strikes, and I don't know if that's because the bolt didn't go all the way forward or what, but you can see that those are pretty shallow in contrast to a full one that actually had a fire. We stick this one in the batch, you can see that the one that was fired right here is much deeper. So there's still something going on with that. I still like the platform. It didn't have any issues until I tried to run it slide fire. So the ammo that we were using that we had troubles with was this the Wolf 7.62x39 122 grain stuff right here in the black box. I found another box of different ammo in my shooting bag, which is also made by Wolf, but it's the military classic. This is 124 grain, the soft point, the lead tipped hunting ammo. So we're going to do a mag dump of the soft tip ammo and see if maybe it's running a different primer. If we got a hard primer issue with the other ones, maybe we don't with this. So I'm going to try a mag dump with this one. No, what I have is, I have a different problem with these ones. The lead tips are dragging on the feed ramps a little bit as we're coming up. So, try it again. Once again, failed to catch a round. So there we have it, folks. The 7.62x39 AR. It's still a little problematic for me. I still think it's a viable candidate, and it's a problem child, and I kind of like problem children. It give me a little bit of trouble to work on. So we're going to do some work and more tuning on this and try and get to the bottom of what's causing the primer problems. It very well may be just hard primers on that particular batch of ammo. Hey, I hope this was insightful and entertaining and educational for you. As always, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe.